Some 29 passengers who died in a gory accident on the Kintampo road Monday dawn will most likely end up in a mass grave. This was after authorities concluded their bodies cannot be identified because they had been burnt beyond recognition. The accident involved a U-turn bus carrying mainly foodstuff from Boku in the Upper East region, which collided head-on with a sprinter bus from Kumasi, which then burst into flames. About 6 survivors who suffered injuries were rushed to the Kintampo hospital by first responders and are being treated. Some of the survivors of the accident have suggested the driver was asleep behind the wheels at the time of the crash. Erastus Asari Donko visited the accident scene earlier and has come through with this report for you.
11 of the passengers on board one of the buses were onion traders who were headed to Techiman. 6 of them survived the accident. So far, the death toll is 31, whilst 5 persons who managed to escape death are being treated at the Kintampo hospital. A pregnant woman who survived the accident said the driver was sleeping behind the wheel.
Anti driver no free ne kwan mu anti 207 no ayete se obekwa akọfa ngura kwan ona bus no amwasia anti tamaisi no ho so be hu se nipa do so pa because bin mu da say window na no sa nka ye do sa ebetumi ayi bebre so ye do so.
Another survivor narrates how he managed to escape from the burning vehicle. The municipal ambulance officer explained what they found at the scene.
Around 4:53 this morning, we had a call that accident happened at Gulumpe area. So I quickly mobilized my men and then we dispatched with my men to the scene. And we got here 4:59 exactly hours this morning. So when we got here, in fact, the information couldn't get to us quickly. But fortunately, we come the 2 buses, U-turn bus and then sprinter bus. They collide. The U-turn bus is from Boku.
So how many people have you been able to transport?
Yes, for the people we are able to rescue, we had 6 people out of the total number of the 2 buses. And then 1 is okay. We transported 5 to the Kintampo Municipal Hospital and they are receiving treatment currently.
Municipal Chief Executive of the area, Michael Sarkodie-Bafo, spoke to Joy News.
We don't have any option except to maybe find out from the medical people if they have a way by which we can decipher one body from the other. Otherwise, we will have no option left to us than to, visit what happened, unfortunately, last year, mass burial. It's quite unfortunate, quite unfortunate. We will have to work together, all the agencies.
Does such situation bring burden on you as as municipal, as districts?
Seriously, this, as you have seen, occurred within my jurisdiction. And so I have a responsibility to ensure that the bodies are kept well, pending preparation for whatever form of burial that we have to undertake, whether mass or whatever. We also have some legal issues involved here. We don't want to do things and later on family members of the deceased will come with lawsuits and all that. That why did you do ABC? So I'm sure that the police will do the needful.
Chairperson of the Ghana Academy of Art and Science, Professor Henrietta Mensah-Bonsu, says most of these accidents are as a result of miscalculation on the part of some drivers.
I think there are a number of factors. Certainly, there's a lot more movement at weekends for funerals and so on. People leave home very early, especially if they are doing day return.
Yeah.
They leave home very early. Sometimes they have not eaten, which means that their sugar level is low. They are making bad decisions on the road. And as a teacher, I've been taking interest in checking which of the drivers has a good sense of mathematics. Because sometimes in overtaking, you can tell it is poor calculation.
Yeah.
So we may not think of these things offhand, but in truth, some of the poor decisions are based on a poor sense of calculation as to whether I can overtake this vehicle and be safe.
The survivors are on admission at the Kintampo Hospital.
Us now with the very latest is Erastus Asari Donko, who has spent most of the day at the scene. Erastus, what's the latest on this accident? Erastus, can you hear me? About that, the Kintampo stretch has in recent years become notorious for such gory accidents. A similar accident on the stretch claimed some 60 lives in March 2016. Again, the bodies had to be buried in a mass grave. So what exactly is being done about the road? Emma Morrison, who hosted the Pulse today, has been speaking with the Director of Planning at the National Road Safety Authority, Henry Asumene, who also confirms eyewitness accounts that the driver of the Yutong bus was actually sleeping.
There's preliminary investigations. As at now, it just happened this way, but preliminary investigations shows that one, it was a head-on collision, and there were two buses. One was I hear people say Yutong, but I think from preliminary investigation, it's a Grand Bed bus.
A Grand Bed, yes.
A Grand Bed bus. And then the other one was a Sprinter bus. One was heading towards the Grand Bed, one was coming from Tamale, and the other one was heading towards Tamale. And from preliminary investigation, the accident happened on the lane of the Sprinter, on that shoulder, which meant that the Grand Bed bus went off his lane into the lane of the Sprinter, who even tried to swerve onto the shoulder, and the accident happened there. If you look at this, it's very similar to what happened some time ago, where we lost about 35 people on the Cape Coast Takoradi Road. Preliminary investigation also shows that it hasn't been confirmed yet, but it shows that the driver of the Grand Bed bus was a little sleepy. So if that is confirmed, then it means that there was fatigue, and fatigue is the major cause of this accident. And we've always said that fatigue is one of the major causes of fatal accidents, because when the driver is sleeping, he doesn't even see the danger for him to try to avoid it.
Okay, so let's go back to Erastus Asari Donko, who has spent most of his day at the accident scene.
Action. Go. Right, so we are coming from the accident scene at Kintampo. The accident occurred at Dawadawa number 2. What we do know as at the moment is that we have 31 people confirmed dead, some of them bent beyond recognition, and we had 6 people surviving. Out of the 6, 5 of them were transferred to the Kintampo Government Hospital, but as we speak, they've all been discharged, left with one pregnant woman who lost a 12-year-old girl to the accident, and she is doing okay according to health professionals. Now, 2 of the bodies have been identified as drivers of the Yutong bus and the Sprinter bus as well. But as to the others, it's difficult at the moment identifying them, and many families have been coming in, and it's a Muslim community, and so many of them have been coming in trying to identify the bodies and take them away. But health professionals are saying that they need to go through a rigorous process to see whether they can get any identification tags on the bodies to be able to identify them. But the last option they are looking at is that if they are not able to identify them, it's possible that they will conduct a mass burial for all of them. I must say that what is happening on that particular stretch, according to drivers, is a lot of fatigue for many of the drivers who drive long distances on that stretch. And then we're talking about, it looks like a motorway, so there is so much speeding on that particular stretch. So that is the cause that many are attributing towards this whole accidents on the Kintampo Tamale stretch.
Thank you very much, Erastus. We wish everybody well, and those who have lost their relatives, we give them our condolences.